Hello grade 11 STEM students, mabuhay. So this is Larry M. Del Rosario. So feel free to watch and don't forget to like and subscribe after watching the video. Kindly leave a comment as well. Thank you. So the topic that we will be discussing for today is all about the conic sections. So when we say conic section, so conic section is defined as the interaction of a plane and a double nape cone which is being used in the study of analytic geometry. So para mas maintindihan ninyo, let us say na meron tayong isang plane na maging intersect sa ating double nape cone. Kung nakikita niyo yung ating figure, yung plane na yon, yung rectangle like or square like na yan yung tinatawag nating plane na magi-intersect sa ating double nape cone. Para ma-form yung intersection, kailangan makat ng plane yung double nape cone sa kahit saang part niya. Yung double nape cone na tinatawag ay yung nakikita nyong parang dalawang cone na congruent tapos magkapatong sila. So yung tip ng cone, nung isang cone tapos yung tip ng isang cone tapos congruent sila, magkapatong. So yun yung tinatawag nating double nape cone. Ito yung double nape cone na gagamitin natin para mas ma-visualize ninyo yung mga conic sections na gagamitin natin sa mga lessons pa natin further. So let us say na ito yung plane na ayan yung plane na mag-slice or magka-cut doon sa ating 3-dimensional cone. Kapag kinat ng plane yung ating 3-dimensional cone, may mga mabubuo or ma-form na iba't ibang figures. So yung mga figures na yun yung mga tinatawag nating conic sections. Yung una nating figure na pwedeng mabuo, ito yan. Kapag yung plane natin ay in-slice natin ng diagonal sa ating cone or para siyang slight lang yung or parang isa-isang side lang siya nag-cut ng diagonal, ang bubuo sa ating cone ay yung tinatawag nating parabola. Ayun yung ating parabola. So, ito yung parabola na mabubuo kapag nag-slice ka gamit yung plane sa double nape cone. Ayan yon yung parabolang mabubuo. So, yung pangalawa naman na figure ay ang tinatawag nating ellipse. Ayan, kung makikita nyo yung pangalawang figure, siya yung ellipse. Ito naman yung figure na mabubuo kapag nag-slice tayo ng pa-diagonal or slightly slanted na slanted sa cone pero nasakop niya yung buong cone. Hindi kamukha nung sa parabola, dun lang sa may isang part. Dito, sinakop niya o in-slice niya yung isang buong cone. Yung isang buong cone. Para siyang oval-like figure kung titignan nyo siya sa XY plane. So, nasa baba yung ating XY plane para mas ma-visualize ninyong mabuti kung ano yung itsura ng ating mga figure na mabubuo doon sa ating pag-intersect ng ating plane and double nape cone. If vertical naman yung plane nyo at hiniwa nyo yung cone vertically sa isang side, ang mabubuo naman na figure is hyperbola. So, yun naman yung ating pangatlong figure. So, yung ikatlong figure natin, yan yung mabubuo kapag ginawa natin yung pag-slice nung vertical na plane doon sa double nape cone. So, para tayong makakabuo ng dalawang opposite na opening na parabola. Kaya siya tinawag na hyperbola. And the last conic section that we are going to use ay familiar naman sa inyong lahat. Ito yung tinatawag nating circle. So, mabubuo naman yung circle kung meron kayong double nape cone at hiniwa nyo ito horizontally. Ayan, mabubuo yung tinatawag nating bilog. We have 4 conic sections to analyze sa pre-calculus under analytic geometry. Ito yung hyperbola, ellipse, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, and circle na madali nyong ma-visualize using yung ating XY plane. So, sa XY plane natin, sa pinakaibaba, yan yung pinaka parang hole or yung figure na mabubuo kapag yan yung mga conic sections na buo kapag nag-intersect na yung ating plane at yung ating double nave cone. So, sa video na ito, ang una nating i-discuss ay ang parabola at circle para mas madali ninyong ma-absorb yung lesson. And I will do separate videos doon sa hyperbola and ellipse. So, yung first na i-discuss ko ay ang parabola. It is very important for you to understand na ang analytic geometry ay isang visual mathematics na need ninyo na visualize yung mga parts ng mga given conic sections. Like sa parabola, tulad ng conic sections na ito, we slice plane na diagonal, so we have parabola. So ayan, we slice plane na diagonal. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na parabola. So by definition, parabola is a set of all points in an xy in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed line called directrix and a fixed point called focus. So kapag nag-graph kayo ng parabola, heto yung mga parts ng parabola na kailangan nyong maintindihan. Ito yung una, ito yung vertex. Ito yung tinatawag nating vertex, which is probably the most important part of parabola. Ito yung focus na nasa loob ng opening ng parabola. By the way, yung focus din yung magdidictate or magdedetermine kung saan naka-open yung ating parabola. Because after all, focus yung yung focus, lagi siyang nakapaloob dun sa opening ng parabola. So, siya yung magdedetermine kung saan yung opening. Okay. At yung directrix, ito yung magsisilbing wall or harang na parang opposite ng vertex at focus. Meaning, hindi pwedeng mag-open ang inyong parabola sa harap ng directrix. It opens opposite the directrix ng parabola that we are going to use in analyzing conic sections involving parabola. So now the general form or equation of a parabola is in two forms. Dalawa siya. Yung una ay x minus h squared or quantity x minus h squared equals 4p times the quantity y minus k. Ito yung equation na gagamitin natin if and only if the parabola opens upward or downward. At yung pangalawa naman ay yung quantity y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h kung yung parabola nyo ay nag-open either sa left side or dito nga sa right sides, sideways. Okay. Just always remember na kapag ang opening ng parabola is either going up or going down, x minus h squared or yung exponent na 2 ay kasama ng inyong x. Ito yon. Again, kapag yung parabola nyo nag-open siya pataas or kaya yung opposite niyan, yung pababa, yung exponent natin, lagi siyang kasama nung x. That's why it is x minus h quantity squared. At kapag naman ang parabola ninyo ay nag-open sideways, ayan, sideways, either right or left, ang inyong exponent na 2 will be with your y. So that's why it is y minus k squared. Kasama siya ng y. Balikan natin yung unang equation. Diba, dalawang opening pa siya, either up or down. Now, kapag ang parabola ay nag-open upward, yung p natin doon sa equation na x minus h squared equals 4p times y minus k will be equal to a positive number or p is greater than 0. Again, kapag it opens upward, yung p natin, ayan yung p natin, will be a positive number. Kapag naman it opens downward, yung p natin is a negative number. or P is less than 0. Next naman, the same goes with the second equation. So kapag yung P natin kapag yung ating parabola nag-open sa right side, meaning yung value ng ating P doon sa equation ay positive number or P is greater than 0. It opens to the right. Since alam naman natin na ang number na greater than 0 ay ang mga positive numbers lang. Next is our left. So, kapag nag-open siya sa left side, meaning yung P natin ay negative numbers or P is less than 0. Alam naman din natin na ang number na less than 0 ay yung mga negative numbers lang. So, ito yung mga important factors na need ninyo maintindihan sa pag-solve ng conic sections, particularly in parabola. Kung paano siya nag-o-open at ano yung behavior ng value ng sign ng p-value nyo kapag nag-o-open pataas or pababa or pakaliwa or pakanan ang inyong parabola. So, paano naman mag-analyze ng isang parabola? So, para mas maintindihan nyo kung paano mag-analyze ng parabola, meron ako ditong examples in analyzing parabola. Okay, let's say for example, in example 1, given yung graph natin. Okay, so in XY plane, so we have the parabola. So as you notice, saan naka-open yung parabola? It open sideways. Aside from it open sideways, ano yung napansin nyo? Saan siya naka-open? Sa left or sa right? So it opens to the left. So we are still going to use the formula quantity y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h. So yung hk natin, hk is the vertex of the equation. Okay, so as you notice, yung vertex natin ay nasa origin lang. So that is simply equal to 0, 0. So ayun yung ating vertex, 0, 0. So yung k natin, mamaya, papalitan lang natin ng 0. At yung h natin, papalitan lang natin ng 0. Kasi yung vertex natin ay nasa origin. And as I have discussed earlier, again, yung vertex natin is in a form of hk. So, h is 0, k is 0. So, papalitan lang natin ng 0. Next is our focus. So, focus, ayan. So, it is in 1, 2, 3. So, we have negative 3, 0. So, negative 3, 0. Point siya. Kaya meron siyang abscissa and ordinate. So, negative 3, 0. And, always remember, yung ating focus, ito yung magde-determine nung opening ng ating parabola. Baka kasi next time, hindi na given yung graph. So, you will be asked to graph a certain equation of parabola. So, huwag niyong akalimutan na yung ating focus, siya yung magde-determine ng opening ng ating parabola. Lagi siyang nasa loob nung parabola. Hindi siya pwedeng nasa labas. Next is our directrix. Yung directrix natin ay line. Line siya. Again, yung directrix natin ay line. So, it is 1, 2, 3. So, yung distance niya from the focus is 3. So, x equals 3. Kahit na vertical siya, it is x equals 3. Since that line lies on the x-axis. Nakalay siya sa x-axis. Next is our axis of symmetry. Yung axis of symmetry, from the word itself, symmetry, para siyang salamin. So, yung axis of symmetry, line din siya kamukha ng directrix. Pero this time, ano yung line na magbibigay ng symmetrical figure doon sa ating parabola? Parang mirror, yung magpapamirror doon sa ating parabola. So, as you notice, ito yung line na yon na magsiset or magsiserve as mirror para maging mirror yung ating parabola. So, tawag dun axis of symmetry. And This is simply y because it lies on y and it lies on 0 yung origin. So simply the axis of symmetry is y equals 0. Always remember yung ating focus, yung distance ng ating focus sa vertex ay equal lang sa distance ng ating directrix sa vertex. So kung bibilangin natin, 3 units yung focus away from the vertex, 3 units away from the vertex din yung measure ng ating directrix. And then we proceed with the equation. So y minus, so the value of k is 0 squared equals 4 times negative 3, since that is the value of our focus, and then times the quantity x minus 0. So we have y minus 0 is y, retain the squared, equals 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 times x minus 0, which is x. So the final answer is y squared equals negative 12x. So dito, madali pa siyang ma-determine kasi kung tutuusin, nasa origin pa yung ating vertex. So what if wala na sa origin yung ating vertex? So meron pa ako ditong example kung saan wala sa origin yung ating vertex. Okay, so yung next naman natin, this time wala na sa origin yung ating vertex. So given yung ating graph, ito yung ating graph. We are going to analyze it first so that madali natin makakraft or masusulat yung equation ng ating parabola. So as you notice, it opens upward. Okay, so gagamitin lang natin yung unang formula kung saan yung ating exponent na 2 ay kasama niya yung ating h. So we are going to use x minus h squared equals 4p times y minus k, where h, again h and k is our vertex. Next is to identify each parts. So yung una, we are going to identify the vertex. So yung ating vertex ay simply yun. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, tapos 1. So we have 4, 1. Yung focus natin ay 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4, 4. Yung directrix natin ay y equals negative 2. So yung directrix natin, ito siya. So we are just going to count kung 1, 2, 3. 3 yung distance ng ating focus sa ating directrix, bibilang lang ulit tayo ng 3. So that is 1, 2, 3. It became negative 2 since it is negative 2. Negative 2 yung value ng ating y. Kasi doon dumaan yung ating directrix. And yung axis of symmetry, x equals 4. Again, ito yung axis of symmetry natin. Yung line na nagbibigay ng symmetrical face sa ating parabola. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the next step is to substitute the value. So we have x minus, what is the value of h? And that is 4. Quantity squared equals 4 times 3. Yung value ng ating, yung distance ng ating focus sa ating vertex, and that is 1, 2, 3. Positive because it opens upward. Times y minus, what is the value of our k? And that is 1. Y minus 1. Simply, x minus 4 quantity squared equals 4 times 3 is 12 times y minus 1. So, pwede nyo pa naman din siyang i-distribute, but since we are only looking for the standard equation, so hindi natin siya kailangan pang galawin pa. Okay, so yung next topic na i-discuss natin ay another conic sections, which is analyzing the circle. Analyzing circle. So, yung una natin gawin, let us first define circle. So, when we say circle, in a conic section, it is a set of all points in the xy plane that are fixed distance or r from a fixed point hk. So what is r? So r represents the radius. Pag sinabi nating fixed distance, kahit saan ka mag-point, for example, gumawa ng line from the center of the circle up to the end point of the circle, yung radius na mapo-form mo ay fixed yung distance niya. Hindi siya nagbabago ng value. Next, yung ating center or yung ating center ng circle ay in a form of HK. So, yung HK ay simply a point. Parang abscissa and ordinate. Okay? So, that is HK. So, in this given circle, kung mapapansin nyo, ayon yung ating center. And radius from here up to end point of circle or kahit saan pa sa circle na yan, it will represent the same distance. So, the equation of a circle, kung ang parabola, meron siyang dalawang equation, if it opens upward, downward, or sideways, this time, yung circle, isang equation lang yung sinusunod natin. Why? Kasi ang circle, bilog lang siya. Wala siyang opening, wala siyang closing. Okay. So, yung tatandaan nyo lang, it is pretty simpler than parabola. So, it is the quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals r squared, where hk is the center and r is the radius. So, ayan siya sa conic sections. So, kung papansin niyo para tayong nag-cut, nagkaroon ulit ng intersection. So, kinat natin yung cone using a plane in a horizontal manner. And then, mabubuo natin yung tinatawag na bilog or circle. So, ito siya sa x and y plane. So, dito, kung mapapansin nyo sa example na to, yung ating radius ay 4. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yung radius natin ay 4. So, para mas madali nyong maintindihan, let's have a series of example. So, sa unang example, we are asked to graph the circle given the equation x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. Again, yung ating standard equation of a circle is quantity x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So, una natin gagawin is to identify h given. So, step 1, we are going to find the center and the radius. Pag nahanap na natin yung center and radius, madali na nating mag-graph yung ating circle. So, hanapin muna natin yung center. Given the formula, yung ating standard equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. As you notice, ang hahanapin lang natin, kukunin lang natin yung h and k. So, i-substitute muna natin yung given. So, yung h natin, ayun yung ating, ibig sabihin, ito yung ating h. So, it will serve as negative 1 since this is a negative. Meaning, kaya siya naging positive doon, yung value talaga ng ating 1 ay negative. So, yung 1 natin ay negative times negative, naging plus siya doon. Plus y minus k, so yung k natin ay negative 3, so it is simply positive 3. Or para hindi kayong malito, kapag given yung equation, kapag positive siya, yung h mo magiging negative. Kapag negative siya, yung k mo magiging positive pag kinukuha natin yung center. So, yung center natin ay simply negative 1, 3. Since hk format tayo. Yung radius niya ay 16 ba? No. Because yung 16 na yon ay in a form of r squared. R squared equals 16. Remember, we are only looking for the value of r, not for the value of r squared. So, we are going to get the square root of both sides. So, Getting the square root of r squared, we simply have r, and the square root of 16, which is simply positive or negative 4. So yung next step natin is to graph. Alam na natin yung center, alam na natin yung radius. So we're going to plot negative 1 and 3 followed by positive and negative 4. So dito medyo namali lang yung ginamit kong PowerPoint. So medyo i-visualize nyo na lang or try nyo i-graph on your own yung negative 1, 3. So that is 1 and then 1, 2, 3. Mga nandoon siya yung ating center. And then you're just going to count for each part or each side. Tapos, i-form nyo lang siya ng circle. So, that is the graph of our circle. By the way, i-discuss ko pa to further on a separate video. Next example. Write the equation of a circle which point negative 6, 4 lies on the circle and center at negative 5, 0. Ibig sabihin, yung center niya negative 5, 0. Yung point na negative 6, 4 ay part noong circle, nung pinakabilog. Nakalay siya doon. So, this time we're not asked to graph. So, pero mas maganda kung i-graph pa din siya para mas malinaw at mas madaling maintindihan. So, yung una, our task is to find the radius. Kasi given na yung ating center, wala na tayong problema. All we have to do is find our radius. So, our x and y is negative 6, 4. Since that point lies on the circle. So, we're just going to substitute negative 6 to x. Of course, our h is negative 5. So, since this is negative, positive 5 yung ilalagay natin sa loob. Quantity squared plus, what is our y? And that is 4. Ayun, 4 minus, what is our h? And that is 0. K, that is 0. So, 4 minus 0 quantity squared equals r squared. So, we simply have negative 6 plus 5 is simply negative 1 squared plus 4 minus 0, which is 4 squared, equals r squared. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1 plus 4 times 4 is 16, which is equal to r squared. So, 1 plus 16 is 17 equals r squared. Next, write the equation. Hindi ko na kinuha yung square root ng 17. Kasi kapag ginawa natin yung equation, simply ilalagay din natin siya as r squared. So, wala naman tayong problema doon. Hindi na lang natin siya i-square dito sa equation. I-write na lang natin yung 17 as it is. So, dito sa ating equation, papalitan natin yung h at yung ating k. Yung h at yung ating k at yung ating r squared. So, we have x plus 5 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 17. Or simply, x plus 5 squared plus y minus 0 is simply y, quantities raised to 2 equals 17. Okay, so ikakat muna natin yung discussion hanggang dun sa part na yon. On the next video, I will explain further circle para mas lalo nyo siyang maintindihan. Kasi this time, we are going to use completing the square. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Please feel free to watch anytime and don't forget to like this video and subscribe on my channel. Thank you and God bless.